You ever think about an anime and immediately get mad? Like, actually mad, because it was so good and then it just stopped. Yeah. This video is gonna reopen wounds, and skipping it? That's like pretending your favorite anime didn't deserve better. Before we even start, one of these anime ended right when it was getting insane. One of them fans have been begging for years, and one had absolutely no excuse to stop. None. If you loved an anime that felt like it was ripped away mid-sentence, this one's for you. Because by the time we hit the top 3, this stops being nostalgia and turns into pain. Let's count it down. Talentless Nana. At first glance, Talentless Nana looks familiar. Too familiar. A special academy. Teenagers with superpowers. A secret island meant to protect humanity. You've seen this setup before, and that's exactly why it works. Because this anime uses your expectations against you. Instead of flashy fights, it leans into psychological tension. Every episode quietly asks one question: who actually deserves to be here? What makes this anime special isn't explosions, it's the mind games. The way characters observe each other, the way small details suddenly matter. And when things start going wrong, you feel it in your chest. The tension keeps building, the situation keeps tightening, the story keeps pulling you deeper, and then it stops, right when it feels like the anime is finally ready to explode. And if this already feels unfinished, you're not ready for what comes next. Akashic Records of Bastard Magic Instructor. This anime tricks you in a different way. You think it's gonna be a generic magic school story. Strict academy, talented students, serious tone. Then he walks in. A teacher who looks like he doesn't care, sleeps during class, breaks every rule he's supposed to teach. And yet, the more you watch, the more you realize. This man knows exactly what he's doing. What made Akashic Records stand out was balance. Comedy that actually landed. Magic that had logic behind it. Underneath the jokes, there's mystery. Underneath the laziness, there's experience. And when the story shifts gears, it earns it. This is one of those anime that randomly comes up years later. Not because it was perfect, but because it was fun in the right way. Alright, up until now, it's been manageable. This next one, this is where it starts to hurt. Chivalry of a Failed Knight. This anime had no business being this emotionally satisfying. On paper, it looks predictable. Magic Academy, underdog protagonist, overpowered rival, but then it does something shocking. It commits. The main character isn't weak, he's misjudged, not untalented, just underestimated. And instead of dragging romance for 5 seasons, this anime actually lets relationships progress. Respect, communication, mutual growth. What makes this one linger is how grounded it feels. It's not about becoming the strongest person in the room. It's about proving your worth when no one expects anything from you. That's why this one never fully disappeared from conversation. And if Chivalry of a Failed Knight surprised you by being better than expected, what comes next isn't a surprise at all. It's a punch to the face. Deadman Wonderland. This anime wastes no time. One normal day, one normal student, and then everything is gone. Deadman Wonderland throws you into a world where survival isn't about strength, it's about endurance. The concept alone is disturbing in the best way. A prison that treats suffering like entertainment, where inmates don't just serve time, they perform. What made this anime hit so hard was the tone. It was cruel, uncomfortable, and constantly tense. You never feel safe watching it, not for a second. Every situation feels like it could snap at any moment. And just when it feels like the story is opening its darkest doors, it stops. Right at the beginning. If you only watched the anime, you didn't even see half the story. And anime fans know this one deserved redemption. And trust me, the next entry switches gears hard. Prison School. Let's be honest, you probably clicked Prison School expecting dumb ichi comedy, and then you stayed because it was way smarter than it had any right to be. Yes, it's ridiculous, yes, it's unhinged, but the timing, the delivery, the commitment to the bit, perfect. What makes Prison School special isn't just the fan service, it's how seriously it treats stupid situations. Every escape attempt feels like a war strategy. Every punishment feels absurdly intense. Every character is exaggerated but consistent. This is one of those anime people still quote out of nowhere. Scenes you randomly remember. Moments that live rent-free in your head. It didn't try to be respectable. It tried to be unforgettable. And honestly, it succeeded. And if this one made you laugh through the frustration, number 5 hits a very different nerve. Domestic Girlfriend. Before we even talk about the story, we need to talk about the opening. Because this anime has one of the most iconic opening songs in anime. A lot of people didn't even plan to watch Domestic Girlfriend. They heard the opening, they felt something, and they stayed. And once you're in, you realize this isn't a normal romance. From the very start, it puts its characters in situations that feel wrong, but painfully human. What keeps people watching isn't shock value, it's vulnerability. Every character is flawed, every choice has weight, and nobody walks away clean. And when the season ends, it doesn't doesn't feel like a conclusion. It feels like the story stopped mid-emotion, right when everything was at its most intense. It wasn't for everyone, and it never tried to be. But if an anime can still divide people years later, still sting, still make people feel something, then it did exactly what it set out to do. That was messy love. What comes next is love that takes its time and makes you wait. More than a married couple, but not lovers. This anime had romance fans locked in from episode 1. The concept alone is wild, but grounded enough to feel believable. A school program where couples are forced to live together, not dating, not married, somewhere painfully in between. And that in between is where all the tension lives. Two people paired together who don't want each other. Two people separated from the ones they do want, and feelings that start changing without permission. Every episode is built on quiet moments, lingering looks, moments that feel too real. You can feel the emotional shift happening little by little. The hesitation, the confusion, the moments where things almost cross a line. And when it finally feels like the story is ready to move forward, it stops. Right when everything is set up, right when the tension is at its peak. And from here on out, the pain gets quieter but heavier. Hyouka. If you like the main character from Classroom of the Elite, but wanted him softer, more human, this anime is for you. If you enjoyed Origaru or Bunny Girl Senpai, where the real story isn't the mystery, but the characters slowly understanding themselves, Hyouka sits right there. This is a quiet anime. It's built around small mysteries, everyday questions, moments most people would ignore. The main character doesn't chase problems, he avoids effort. Lives by one rule: don't waste energy, until curiosity slowly pulls him in. And that's where the magic happens. The atmosphere is calm, the pacing is gentle. This is an anime that rewards patience. The more attention you give it, the more it gives back. You don't finish episodes feeling hyped. You finish them feeling different, like something small shifted. And when it ends, it doesn't feel finished. It feels paused, which somehow makes it hurt more. Because anime like this don't scream for attention, they linger. And if this quiet ache already hit you, number 2 is about to hit the opposite nerve. No game, no life. This one really doesn't need an introduction. A world where everything is decided by games. No swords clashing, no armies colliding, just strategy, intellect, and absolute confidence. From the very first episode, No Game No Life felt different. It was stylish, it was sharp, and it knew exactly what kind of anime it wanted to be. Every game had layers. Every victory felt calculated. Every move made you lean forward and think. And at the center of it all, a duo so perfectly in sync, they became iconic almost instantly. What makes this one hurt isn't just that it stopped, it's that it opened the door to a massive world and barely stepped inside. The story didn't feel complete, it felt like a prologue, like the real game hadn't even started yet. And that lingering feeling, that sense that something enormous was left untouched, never really goes away. After all of that, there's still one anime left, and it's the one that ended at the worst possible moment. But before we get there, we have to talk about the honorable mentions. Because these hurt too. High School of the Dead. This one needs no introduction. Easily one of the best zombie anime ever made. And sadly, it's the one we'll never see continue following the author's passing. The world of Otome games is tough for mobs. This one caught a lot of people off guard. An isekai where the main character openly hates the world he's stuck in. Sarcastic, strategic, and completely done with everyone. It ended right when it found its rhythm, which made the wait hurt even more. Aoashi. This one hit different for sports anime fans. No flashy super moves, just real growth, real tactics, real teamwork. It focused on learning the game the hard way. And it stopped right when that progress started to feel special. Alright, now that we've reopened all those wounds, let's talk about the one that ended at the worst possible moment, Tomodachi Game. Friends or money? This one needs no introduction, not because it was everywhere, but because the moment you mention it, people already know exactly what you mean. This is the anime where debates never stop. Ayanokoji or Yuichi, cold calculation versus quiet menace, and that alone tells you how hard Tomodachi Game hit. It starts deceptively simple, a poor but kind guy, a tight circle of friends, a belief that trust matters more than money, and then that belief gets dismantled, slowly, carefully, without mercy. This anime isn't really about games, it's about people under pressure. The tension doesn't come from action, it comes from silence, from hesitation, from the things people don't say. And at the center of it all is a main character who never panics, never rushes, never explains himself. Every episode tightens the screws. Every round feels more personal. You can feel the story leaning forward, ready to cross a line it hasn't crossed yet. And that's when it stops. What the anime showed you, that was just a tease. Because beyond season 1, the games escalate. The psychology gets darker, the strategies get crueler, and the story steps into an entirely different league. The manga doesn't just continue, it finishes. And we never got to see that animated. started. And that's really what this whole list was about. Not bad anime, not forgotten anime, just stories that earned your time and then disappeared before they could finish what they started. So now I want to know, which anime on this list hurt you the most? And which one do you still hope, maybe unrealistically, will come back someday? And if you're still in the mood for anime that didn't get enough love, I've got another video on 10 underrated anime of 2025 that deserved more attention. Some of them might surprise you. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.